This is why y'all watch me. You want to hear this play I heard? Watch. He going to hit me up like, yo, how you hear this? Because he ain't tell me. And it's my man's. When Thug gets let out of jail, the talk is this. They say 2 hours afterwards, Drake flew to Thug and allegedly gave him $1 million. Drake didn't tell me. Drake gonna hit me up and be like, who told you this shit? Which, by the way, super strategic move. Super strategic. Thug was in jail talking about let's squash all this beef. If I'm Drake, I need Atlanta. Okay, so I got one nigga in Atlanta that's what I... Ghost... supposedly Drake flew to wherever Thug was at. Gave that nigga $1 million. Y'all can't turn Atlanta against no big Drizzy. Get the fuck out of here. Only the industry insiders would know what that is. Which I think that's dope. And if y'all do hear Thug rap about it later, or Drake rap about it later, just remember I told y'all first. Okay, that's all. So, little moving parts right here. Ain't that dope? I heard Drake flew to Atlanta. I don't know if it was Atlanta, but flew to wherever and gave him $1 million. So that's dope. You know why that's smart? Thug showed support for Drake when people were thinking shit was going whatever. By the way, y'all want to hear some real shit? Y'all want to hear some real shit? This is why y'all harass me to stream. I got it. I got everything for y'all. You feel me? This is what I heard. Check this out. So once again, which I think Elliot, I ain't gonna lie to you. Elliot was, I love you, brother, but I think you were trolling or your sources were trolling. I think y'all just made that up. There's no sort, because if I was you, like, that was an embarrassing look. I would have blasted that source. Get the fuck out of here. Don't ever tell me that Drake and Future got on the phone if they didn't get on the phone, which they didn't. The mere fact that Elliot just kind of like played it off cool, I think I won't accuse him of doing it, but like, I think he knew his source ain't on shit. Anyway, so Drake and Future ain't get on the phone. Do you want to hear the real tea I'm hearing? This is the real tea. This is why y'all all come here. The real tea is not Drake and Future get on the phone. Is who Future is associated with. I allegedly have heard. You want to hear what happened? This is what I'm hearing. They said, once again, the OVO EXO, which I told y'all from the beginning, a lot of this shit was set in motion because EXO. While everybody was looking at, like, Metro was like, Future and Metro are with EXO. So here's the thing. So EXO apparently and Drake, they've gotten on a slightly better terms. They've had conversations. That's what I've heard. So this is how everything is broke down. So Elliot, tell your sources to tap in with me. I got the sources, okay? You know what I mean? I always say we don't talk to second in command. We talk to the guy. You get what I'm saying? Put it like this: there's only 4 people in this situation I could have talked to. Anyway, here's the thing. For that other thing. Anyway, here's this new information. So they said Drake and EXO. Now, let me give you a little bit of context. The way how this EXO and OVO shit works is that a lot of the guys, we're not talking about Drake and Weeknd. I know when you think about EXO and OVO, you just think about Drake and Weeknd. You gotta look at the lower level guys. The guys who are street niggas, they're both in Toronto. They share a lot of guys who are like, you know what I mean? These are real dudes. You know what I'm saying? And of course, they're loyal, but it's like, these guys are also they kind of intermingle, right? So like, you know, I think I ever went back to that song War when it came to when Drake was addressing it. And by the way, here's the thing about this OVO XO shit. Like, it's been cool and not cool like 3 or 4 times. So like, they've patched it up, not been cool. Patched it up, not been like mad times. So what allegedly, you know, people have told me, and again, I'm gonna give you a little bit on the sources. What tell me, they tell me they're like, yo, and this is how I kind of got the info. They say, yo, some of the OVO dudes, they're around some of the dudes in XO these days. They've seen them in clubs. When, again, no one you would know. But for the people who knows OVO and knows XO, they'll know the players. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It's no way they're beefing when we see these two guys. They were in the club this weekend. Or they were at this spot, like, around each other. Like, how are these two guys beefing? Then we hear, or I eventually hear, that apparently Drake and I'm gonna just say XO. I'm not gonna name any particular person or people, but the XO situation is, you know, so you know, managing. I mean, you know, I don't want to make no declaration like, oh, they're best friends again. It's like managing, right? Now, what does that mean? Without XO really going at Drake, all that Future shit goes out the window. Like Future, even Metro to a certain extent. Why? Because they kind of fall under that. They're all like, you know, like XO kind of like manages them niggas. You get what I'm saying? I've always told y'all, XO was the, like, in my belief, XO was the entity that set a few things in play. And by the way, I've also further heard that even with Drake and Future, even though they haven't spoke, it's not that, it was never that deep. I heard that allegedly. Now I don't know if this is true. This is one I'm like, yo, if this ain't true, shit, I'm skeptical of it too. They say Future claim he ain't know that Kendrick was gonna diss Drake on motherfucking like that. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true, Chad. I don't know if that was true. But that's what supposedly is the thought. That is the thought, or that is the explanation that is kind of trickled down. Again, they still haven't spoke. But that's the explanation, which, you know, maybe that goes towards eventually something happening. It feels like de-escalation happening a little bit, right? Which I think Drake's just smart as fuck. You can't go against Atlanta. Never. Like, he fucks with Houston. Houston and Atlanta, you can't go against both of those. Okay, he got Houston. Atlanta now. When everybody's trying to make, like, this whole, Metro is feeling for some whatever shit. But Future, when people are trying to act like, oh, well, you know, Future's like the president of motherfucking Atlanta, right? Can't have him going against Drake, right? Thug comes in, I bet. Thug gets out, I bet. Make sure me and Thug good. And then, you know, the XO conversations happen that then, you know, is going to trickle down to eventually, hopefully, Future and Drake eventually at some point, you know, probably piecing it up. And that's how I'm thinking. So that's coming from me now. So I'm hoping that, you know, they get on the phone, whatever. But I guess anything you're trying to pull from this is that there is some de-escalation, right? Conversations with Drake, XO, heard some conversations happen. Have a little bit more on that, but I'll leave it there for now. I'll leave it there for now, man. So, if you see, and by the way, that doesn't mean that Drake and Weeknd are going to be like saying, oh, I love this guy now. It doesn't mean that. It just means that you have two crews that shares people that are on a street level, whatever, that are very close. And, yeah. Other than that, there's one more thing I'm trying to confirm. So I won't, I feel like I gave you a lot so far. There's one more thing I'm trying to confirm. I heard a West Coast rapper pushed up on somebody. in relation to said thing, won't say who, obviously none of the main players. And actually, I don't know if you know the individual, but I'm still confirming that. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. That one, it sounded like I was like, all right, I got to go confirm a few things first. Somebody say gossiping. I think y'all should know by now. When I told you that Cardi was texting Stephon Diggs, you ever heard nobody say, nah, he lying? When I told you, this is the funny thing about it. I be dying for somebody to say, Ak is lying. I be dying. Like, nigga, I be just sitting here like, yo, please call me out. Tell me I'm lying. Like, nigga, because it's hard.